Hey creatives, welcome to the Creative Block, a podcast for the creatively curious who want to hear experience and advice from one creative to another in order to break your creative block. Now, last week we were talking about mojo and originality and something else that I totally forgot about. And this week we're going to be talking about exposure and the absolute atrocity that it is to artists everywhere. And I'm going to take off my glasses because, where do I want to start? Let's start with this Reddit post. And I have to put my glasses on because I'm blind. So, forgive the glare. It's a job posting that's on like a billboard. And the headline reads, "Photographer looking for people to do their job for free in Chicago." And here's the job description. Or the company is, "I'm a photographer, and since people are always looking for free shots, I assume that they must also do their job or provide their services for free. I'm looking to hire all types of people to do all sorts of jobs for me, as long as I do not have to pay anything. Just think, you will gain more experience, and I will put the word out for you and let everybody know what wonderful work you do. This opportunity will bring you a ton of unpaid work, but everyone will love you. So if you have a job or service you provide and will do it for free, please let me know, because I am sure I have work for you and I will hire you in a second. Feel free to email me with the service you can provide, when you can start, and please include your references. I look forward to your free service." So I thought that was pretty clever and pretty fun job posting. If someone actually put that out there, and if you're listening to this, kudos to you, because I think that is awesome. And that really defines what exposure is in a nutshell. I just don't understand where this whole idea of exposure came from. Pretty much just because where we are as a society in terms of capitalism and how our market goes. Everyone pays everyone for something. And you have the saying, that's very true in our society of nothing is free. And it's just well, if nothing is free, how are people going to sit there and tell an artist that they're going to pay them with exposure? So I don't really know where exposure started. And if any of you guys do know, please go ahead and comment below. But it comes in all shapes and sizes. It comes to some extremes to the other extreme. I've had it before where I do just a sketch that I was going to charge $5 for. I send them a picture of it through the phone and they screenshot it and take it away. I've had that, and $5 little sketches, just whatever. But then there are extreme cases. I've had an experience before where it ended a friendship or someone that I thought was a friend. Because they wanted some concept art, and he had literally, he looked me in the eye and he said, "I wasn't planning on paying you because you're a local small town artist who's trying to get out there, and you're really not worth the payment, so I'll just tell people about you and you'll get followers that way." And that was pretty astounding to me, because it's just one, how are you going to tell somebody that? I know that I'm local, I'm a small town artist, but you don't tell someone that their artwork isn't worth payment, especially whenever you can barely even draw stick figures. And I've had experiences like that, and then I've also had ones, like I just said, where it's just a $5 sketch that someone gets away with, and for free. So how do we fix exposure? Or how do we eradicate the evil plague that it is? That may not have been the most timely comment considering the pandemic outside right now, but...
You're doing great.
This is me. Hi. So how do you get rid of exposure? How do we as artists get rid of it? And to that, I am all about community effort, and I say let's set a damn standard. You know, I'm not. I, should we unionize? I don't really see there being a point for artists to unionize. However, on the same token, I do think that we need protections, especially as creatives getting screwed over so much. And I really don't understand it why now, more so than I was younger, and maybe it's just because I've been around in the freelancing contracting world for a little bit now, but like, why is it still common for people to tell you that they're going to pay you with exposure? Like, it's crazy to me. And it shouldn't be happening. That we should set a standard, you know, even if it crosses industries, even if it's just a contracting artists need to set a standard, you know, it needs to happen, especially because with everyone that is with everyone that offers exposure, um, and the stupid crap that it really is. How do you prevent that? How can we as artists stop people from thinking that that's a valid form? Where did where did it even begin? And I think this is really where it comes in, the need to educate people and tell them, hey, this isn't okay. I'm an artist. I have a special skill. You're coming to me for my specific style. I don't care if you think that I'm not good enough or not. I deserve to be paid, and I deserve to be paid for my special skill. Um, and I think that's where it begins. And you know, you got to be tough sometimes, but that's how you get paid. To get people to stop saying, "Hey, artists, I'm going to pay you with exposure," because I think that's actually a thing. Um, to get people to stop doing that and to tell them in the nicest, politest, most firm way possible, no, I don't take exposure. That is total BS. Exposure is an abomination, it is an atrocity, and it is an insult to artists everywhere. I think in order to get that point across, we have to start with educating people, with um, putting on, like, you know, your Instagram bios or on your Facebook pages, just be um, you know, say, hey, I'm an artist, and if you want to commission, um, exposure is not accepted because I'm actually worth it, you know? And I really think it also starts with valuing yourself. Like, I get being a starting artist and wanting to get your name out there, just the 6 elements of a contract, which is something that every artist should definitely do if you're going to be doing commissions and freelance work or anything like that. Make sure to put everything in a stinking contract, okay? That way, you both sign it, you both agree to it. Once that's done, contract complete, you both have an understanding, send a copy to the client, send yourself a copy, and it's always smart to put in there a down payment of some sort, and you need to specify it is a non-refundable down payment, okay? Usually what I'll do is I'll do 10%. I know other people that do half and half for the deposit, the other half not. For me, I really just do a judge of character, and if there's somebody who is actually financially hurting, then I kind of take a step back and it's just like, are you sure you need this now? Because you sign this, you're going to be held accountable to it. I think this is something that we all also kind of can agree on. That you always get that wannabe client, and I say wannabe because it's really up to you if you accept exposure or not. Don't do it. Just please, don't. You're worth so much more than that. Your artwork is so valuable. It is your own. Nobody else can make what you can make. I like to think that our artwork and our styles are like our fingerprints. Everyone has them, but they're all different and they're all custom to our individuality. Don't take exposure. Please, oh please, oh please. Just don't do it. Even if you think it's being nice, don't do it. So I think to really fix this whole exposure issue, and it is a problem. It's not a fabricated problem. It's not a only applies to a few artists problem. It is an issue in the creative industry. Um, because I know I'm not the only one that does it. I know another artist had reached out to me asking about what to do in a certain situation about it. I know I've heard horror stories from other artists, and I mean, even like go on to Reddit and you can search the freelancer page, you can search the artist subreddits, and you'll find like it's a problem for artists that um, not only do we have to figure out how to price something that in truth most artists hate their own work, and it takes a while for them to finally come around to loving it. So to price our own work is difficult, but on top of that, having to debunk a misunderstanding with potential clients that it still sucks that people out there look at you and they're thinking, hey, I can get free artwork out of this person because they're not well known. And that's totally a lie. So how do we as artists debunk that? How do we fix that misunderstanding? And that's really what I want to challenge you all in this next week is if you have a client that did that, if you have an experience that fits anything that we've talked about this entire episode, I really want you to sit there and reflect on it and think, what could I have done differently? What could I have said to make them understand? What could, how can I translate that situation into a future situation? But I really think that it's important for us to reflect on those and don't just mark it off as a lesson learned. Mark it off as a lesson learned, and I need to tell people about this because this is not right. And don't chalk it up to, oh, it was an amateur move, I didn't know what I was doing, I was a young artist. Don't chalk it up like that, because whenever you do that, no one learns. You learn, but no one beside you learn from it. And chances are the person that stole your artwork, because that's what it is, exposure is a synonym to stealing. If someone takes your artwork without paying you and they tell you that they're going to give you exposure, use your prior experiences just to think, how can I convince this person that that is wrong? And it's like you don't undervalue someone's work like that. So I want you to reflect on a situation that you had. Think about how, like, what you could have done differently, and also think about how can I raise awareness to let people know that this isn't okay. Because if you just reflect and you just think about it, and you may share it with a few other artists, or maybe like it may be a story for the future, but you don't tell people about it, if you don't confront the person that did it, chances are that they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to do it to other artists, and more work is going to get stolen. So really reflect on it, and let me know what you guys think. Comment below, or go ahead and email me, info@litstudiocomo.com, which is right there. Go ahead and email me, tell me your thoughts, and that's really all I have to say for this video. I'm not going to apologize for rambling, because this subject is very near and dear to me, because I hate seeing other artists get screwed over by people who don't fully value the creative process and how exhausting it is. So really reflect. Let others know about this podcast. You know, if you have an artist friend who you think they would enjoy listening to this, or if you want to be on the show, let me know. I would love to have you. It gets kind of boring be the only one talking to a camera. So if you want to be on the show, go ahead and email info@litstudiocomo.com. I don't really know what we're going to do for next week's podcast, but seriously, share this stuff. Let me know what you think. If you have any comments or want to share any personal stories, or if you just want to leave feedback, if you want to tell me that I'm crazy and I should stop or anything like that, feel free to email me, info@litstudiocomo.com. That's until next week. You all have a fantastic day, and remember to create without limits in whatever you do. All right, bye.